This is take two. Yep, that's right. Scene. This is Mary Fane Brent with a LinkedIn Bakery serving up bite-sized tips so you don't get overwhelmed. Let me just start with this, folks. So when you're broadcasting live and you have one of these fancy systems where you can broadcast live to groups and pages and YouTube and everywhere, make sure that you're posting to the right page. True story. I just did a really quick live in my private group, the LinkedIn Bakery, and my setting was still set for there. So Amber and I were over in my private group. Hey, bonus for you guys. So thank you for joining us. Please let me know where you're watching from, what industry you're in, and who I can connect you with to support you in your business. And if you have a moment, can you go ahead and share this event on your network? Because we kind of messed up the last, I think we were in there for 5 minutes.
So if I go to search.
There, I'm turning that off. So thank you so much for joining us. You can find me here the first and third Wednesdays of the month at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, except for next month in August. I have back-to-back shows with some exciting guests. We'll talk about that later. So Amber, I always like to tell people how I know my guests. I don't just find strangers on the street, or I don't just look them up online and say, hey, I want that person. I actually have a connection with each person that I bring on as a guest. So Amber and I met at CWEN, which is Christian Women Entrepreneur Networking Group. It's a local networking group here in San Diego that we both love and have been members of. And if you would like to attend one of the meetings for free, just drop in the letters CWEN, C-W-E-N, and I'll send you a link so you can sign up for free for your first time. There's a little plug for CWEN. So I love Amber. I love her motivation. She's very inspiring and uplifting. She's a massage therapist, but she's pivoting in her business because God has a bigger plan for her. That's like another whole conversation. And maybe I'll have you on after that, like launches, and we can talk about what that was like, pivoting and launching. Sorry, midstream thought.
No, I love it. That'd be awesome.
So her business is Upscale for Life. Like I said, she's a massage therapist. She uses essential oils as I do. And we're going to talk about self-care because every month I try to have a theme for the month. So it helps me stay focused and on track. And it helps me bring in the right guests for that theme. So July is self-care, and it's self-care because I feel like July is a big vacation month. Mm-hmm. We've got 4th of July, school's out. I know that we take 2 family trips in July, one with my family, 4th of July out at the lake. Been doing that forever. And we go to, and I'm looking over here like my husband's right there. So weird. And we go to Lake Tahoe with my husband's family. So that is kind of why I deem July self-care month, because it's like a vacation month. And my opinion, I don't think we should work. Whether you're an entrepreneur or in the corporate world, like July should just be a shutdown month, or at least for half the people, because some people have to service ice cream and iced lattes, right, Amber?
Yeah.
So I'll get my business there where it's just like on automation and I can take at least half the month off. So we have one person joining us. I'd love to know who's joining us. Give us a thumbs up. Type in your name if you can. Say hi, Amber and Mary. And before we go any further, Laura said that she's joining us tonight, and tonight's her birthday. So Laura, if you're watching, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Laura.
High five to you for taking time out to make sure that you are taking good care of yourself. Okay, now that we got over that silliness of me broadcasting in the wrong group, Amber's going to share 3 or 4 tips with us of how we can take care of ourselves as busy entrepreneurs, because she knows, like I know, and like you guys all know, how hard it can be to just take care of ourselves on a daily basis. So I know you're going to talk about some water, hydration, some oils, and a couple other things. So Amber, I'm going to let you kind of take it away.
Okay. Yeah, sure. And if there's any, questions or whatever, let's just go at it. So I'll start with the water aspect. And, you always hear that, your body's made up of 60 to 70% water. Okay, well, where is that water? There's all of our organs use it. It's in our cells, and it's like this fluid that kind of washes and lubricates. And so if we're dehydrated, which is easy to do because as an entrepreneur, we're like, go, 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 go. But if those organs, especially our brain, is dehydrated, we're going to have mental fatigue. There's going to be cloudiness, sleepiness, drowsiness. Headaches are associated with dehydration. And so water is super important. And it's not just water, but it's also the right kind of water. So what do I mean by that? So there's three aspects of water for it to be, I, I like to use, since I'm upscale for life, I like to up level our water or even up level our thinking or, upscale, that kind of, elevate, type of terms. And so, elevating our education and what that looks like. So I know, especially here in Southern California, I don't know how it is in the other states. We're so accustomed to just grabbing bottled water off the shelf, getting the cases from, Costco and whatnot, throwing them in our ice chest for the summertime and heading to the beach or camping or what have you. But there's toxins that are involved with having your water in a vessel like that.
In the plastic, especially in
yes,
the heat. Because
yes,
I keep
yes,
water in my car in the plastic bottles, but it's for the emergency. Like
sure,
I'm stranded on the side of the road, but I never go to grab that because I read a long time ago, like a few years ago, probably 5 years ago, about the dangers of drinking water that you've had in plastic bottles in your car because the
yes.
heat actually like seeps the toxins out or something.
Right. Yeah, it like leaches out whatever the chemicals are that they use to construct that plastic. And so, for having the right water, you want to look at, is it hydrating? So there's, I'm by all means, I'm not a scientist or a biochemist or anything by means, but from what I've read and understand is that, the water molecules they're clustered. Okay. So you figure if you can imagine
I'm drinking my
10,
water.
yeah. Now that we're talking about
I'm
water,
thirsty. Yeah, I'm like,
really
oh, I'm
thirsty now.
thirsty. We're talking about water. I'm like, okay. And
That
it's in
these
glass, not plastic.
microclusters, yes, glass is important, or stainless steel. But
Okay.
we can get to that again. But so they're microclustered into, if you imagine like golf balls, and you have 10 of them clustered together. So if that's trying to go into your cell, it's not very efficient at doing it. Whereas if you have one golf ball that is, say, a cluster of, 3 or 6 molecules, that's going to move through the cell much more efficiently. So if your little cells are all dehydrated like a raisin,
Yeah.
then it's not going to be working as efficient in what it's supposed to do, like on other biological aspects of, moving toxins in and out of our body. So you want to make sure, that it's hydrating water in that aspect. Okay. And so the second part is that it's an antioxidant. We're so inundated with so many toxins, and in my opinion, it's rather impossible to get away from toxins because you
They're in
breathe it
everything.
in.
They're in everything.
It's everything. You figure whatever you eat, whatever you drink, whatever you put on your skin, you breathe, they're there, right? So if we can help our body by reducing the toxins that we're ingesting, then that's going to help our body be more efficient because truly, true health, it's like we want to get to this level of true health, right? And it's so overlooked that hydration is an absolute key component to that
It
with the
also
right
makes
water.
you look younger because I'm not lying, I'm in my 50s. I got the crow's feet, and there were a couple days or a week where I was like on point drinking my water every day, and I'm not even kidding. I think a girlfriend and I were Shelly, you're on right now. Remember, we were both drinking water, and I swear it made the wrinkles like vanish.
Bong!
I was like, what? I was like, wait, but it's hard for me to drink it every day,
Right.
but I feel like it's so good for your skin too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So so you want to make sure that it's hydrating, it's an antioxidant, and that it's correct pH. So without getting too crazy with details with pHs, again, I'm not a scientist, but there's various grades of a pH level. So if we have from 0 to say like 10, our body is at a neutral about 7 there on that whole pH scale. And so everything that we eat and drink is going to have a pH range. So if we consume stuff that is more positive, so above the 7 scale, it's going to it's going to help promote more health. I'm trying to like just I'm just trying to make it real general and not too specific with details and stuff. But the lower we go on the scale below, it's acidic, and so our organs do not work as efficiently. They don't like acidity.
Acidity. Yeah, that's a hard word.
Right.
Good job.
So I said it. But if we can consume stuff that is more alkaline, which is going to be above that 7 scale, then it's going to help our body be more efficient at what it's supposed to do. And so that is the third piece of having the right water. So like I'm again just kind of diving into this new aspect of water. We always hear, okay, drink at least half of your body weight in ounces. So if just for easy numbers, if you weigh 100 pounds, you're going to drink 50 ounces of water per day in ounces. However, it's going to look different for everybody because everyone has different lifestyle, right? And, what kind of foods are they consuming? Fruits and vegetables, because fruits and vegetables have hydrating aspects and water content into them too. So you figure the summertime, we love to mac on watermelon.
We have some put up in our fridge.
Yes, it's so delicious.
Cucumbers are good.
Cucumbers, yes. If you want to eat some fruits that are more hydrating, you can think of apples.
These probably aren't hydrating, but these are my organic apricots.
Cute. They look like they came off like a tree in the backyard, like yours.
Right? They're from Farm Fresh.
Nice. So naturally, our environment is already kind of telling us that this is the season that you need to be eating, and which is, like I already mentioned, some of the melons and apples, berries have water content too. And if you are eating more raw fruits and vegetables, that's also going to help your pH be more elevated above the 7, because it's not processed and it's not like totally just drained of the nutrients. So those are the 3 aspects of water. And, as I was mentioning, it's going to look different for everybody I know, isn't that funny? It's like what's that other thing where you say, oh yeah, yawn, and then people yawn. It's like you talk about water and you want to drink more water.
Well, it's also because you and I were talking before we started the live show. I was sharing with Amber that, I needed to drink more water. And I said, honey, every time I do Facebook Live, my husband, he makes me this big glass of water and he puts essential oil in it. So he made me this big glass. I'm like, I have my water with my oil. I'm like, all I need to do is put my essential oil in my water. Cause, it tastes, this is a citrus fresh. So it tastes like an orange lemon. It's so refreshing. I'm like, look at that. I don't even know what this is. What, 16, 18 ounces?
Probably, yeah. So exactly. And that's a good example for those who are just like totally turned off by water. It's boring, whatever. Try, I definitely help educate on essential oils too. And so there are essential oils that you can ingest, and I would not recommend the ones that you buy from Sprouts or anything to that nature. So, there's a couple companies that you can look into, and I represent one of them. But in any event, you can definitely look into the citrus oils. So lemon, wild orange, lime. You can get creative too. And if you have lime and peppermint, you can make like a mojito, and you can have that in your water.
Now all this, because I use oils, Amber uses oils. We use them a lot in our house. We clean with them and everything. I didn't know lime and peppermint makes a mojito.
Yeah, exactly. I know, but don't do too much peppermint because it's too strong.
No, peppermint's a burn. It's a hot oil. Oh, so Laura's on. So Laura, happy birthday, girlfriend.
Birthday.
Okay.
We
Thanks
got
for
that out of the
joining
way.
us.
Yay. Thanks for hopping on, Laura. Happy birthday.
So
So other citrus oils that you could go to for ingesting to just help
water
that
intake.
aspect of wanting to ingest more water. Well, we covered the citrus oils, and you could
I
do the
do
peppermint.
peppermint. I do peppermint oil a lot because it just it's refreshing. It's
Yes.
cool. Like peppermint oil is great because I use it on my neck to cool me down when I'm having,
Mm-hmm.
a hot flash. There, I put it out there, folks. Ah! So,
Yes, it happens.
it
Yes.
happens. Yeah, I blame it all on Eve. That's my story. If she hadn't eaten that apple, childbirth would be a bear. There'd be no PMS and there'd be
Right.
no menopause. But
No hormonal issues.
right, but peppermint
But
oil on the back of your neck is really good. So,
it is good. Another one too, if that one's a little too like that warm, cool sensation for you, if you have access to spearmint, that
oh,
is
I have
super
that too.
refreshing and good too. So it has some of the similar aspects of peppermint without it being too overly cool or overly like warm. And on that same note of essential oils, yes, you definitely hit a key component there that I wanted to share was using essential oils to help cool you during the summertime, but not
Ooh,
only help to cool you, but also to like, as entrepreneurs, we sometimes need that extra little energy pep. And peppermint is one of those awesome go-tos. If you were to mix peppermint and wild orange even together, put a couple drops of each in the palm of your hands, smell it, and then wipe the rest of it on the back of your neck because that's going to be cooling. It's going to be reinvigorating, refreshing, alerting, and bam, you're ready to, do your
sweet.
Facebook Live.
I didn't turn my diffuser on tonight. Because
We
I
talked
have
about
one
that
right
too.
here in the office, and so I like peppermint and lemon together.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a blend joy and lemon, and that's like
Mm-hmm.
uplifting. But yeah, I love combining the oils together to kind of get the benefits from both. But
Absolutely.
that's a really good point. So if you have any questions on oils, you can definitely drop them in this live and Amber will
Yeah.
go back on and engage. We are not trying to sell anything here. We are only trying to provide you with information.
Yes.
We're both oil
Education.
lovers and we distribute for different companies. But look, this is called collaboration, folks. So it doesn't matter. We just want you to have an avenue to get some
Mm-hmm.
oils and really go to Amber and ask her about the oils because she really has dove into that. And I know that you use them with your massage. And
Mm-hmm.
as an entrepreneur, I know like clarity and focus, like there's a lot of oils for that. So if anyone
Absolutely.
needs to focus, ask Amber some the oils, but
Definitely.
like lemon and peppermint are go-tos. Like we have to have lemon, peppermint, and lavender and thieves in our house at all times.
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And lemon's going to be huge for that clarity and like focus too. So that's a good selection. Another tip that's fun, when you take the family out and you're camping or you're out at the beach and you want to cool your body, if you have a stainless steel or, you could use plastic because if what I'm recommending is if you have a spray bottle, you fill it up with water, you put a few drops of peppermint oil in there,
Oh
shake
yeah.
it up, and you spritz your body. Of course, avoid your eyes,
Yes.
but close your eyes and spritz your body, and that has not only the cooling aspects of the water, but you have the essential oil of peppermint or spearmint.
That's a good
Um,
tip.
yeah,
Especially in
definitely.
this really hot, humid season that we're having. Is
Yes.
anybody else like melting? Because the temperatures, it's not like it's 90 degrees or 100 degrees, but that humidity level is
Yes.
like 78% and it's driving me crazy. It's
Hmm.
hot all the time. So I think I'm going to go make a spritzer bottle after this Facebook Live with
Yeah.
water and peppermint. And just in the middle of the night when I wake up, with that lovely hot flash,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just going to be spritzing myself to cool myself off. And then we have fans. That's a really good
Definitely.
idea.
Another fun, cool tip too is if you can keep this in your ice chest. You can maybe just keep it near you at your nightstand. But if you get a damp or wet washcloth and you put your oils on there, peppermint per se, you could use that. In the middle of the night, you wake up with a hot flash. Use that cool
Cool down.
washcloth to help
Yeah.
cool you down. Or if you're out at the beach or camping, keep that little Ziploc bag with your washcloth in it and keep it in your cooler so that when you do start to feel a little overheated, you can put it in the areas that tend to help cool you down, back of the neck as well. So that's just an easy go-to that you can pull that
Sweet.
out. So that's something fun.
So we need
The
to
other,
hydrate and we need to keep ourselves cool and we need to keep ourselves focused. So the water and the oils, those two things right there help us do all that.
absolutely, definitely.
Awesome.
And what's even more cool, like, I don't know, because there's so many like options and they just play such uh, the essential oils just, I don't know.
You
You can
love
use them
them.
with
I
so
get
many
it,
different,
girl.
yeah.
I love them too. I love them too. I mean, Shelly uses them.
Yeah.
She's bought them for me. Different friends have. I don't push it on
Yeah.
anyone, but when they ask, I share.
Sure.
You know, we just share the
Absolutely.
story of how great they've been, and we use them a lot in our household for a lot of other things. So
Hmm.
we've got water, we've got the oils, and did you have one more tip on the oils that you wanted to
Yeah,
share?
I just wanted to mention too, like if you do make another little spray bottle with the water and put some essential oils in there too to help cool, you could throw in their lavender, or there's a blend called Breathe, which is cooling too. You could put the tea tree oil, which is melaleuca, in there, and that also serves as a bug repellent also.
Oh, that's
And
great.
you're going to smell amazing. Everyone's going to be like, "What's that smell?" And so you're going to be like, "It's me. It's my bug repellent body cooler slash, and you're going to be chill because you have lavender in there or whatever. So everyone's going to gravitate to you because you smell awesome.
Oh,
So
that's
that's another fun
fabulous.
tip.
So we talked about water. We talked about the oils for calming and focus and everything. So I don't know about you, but as an entrepreneur, I'm always stressed, right? I mean, some stress is good, but we were just talking about you were working on your opt-in, right?
Right?
For how
Yes.
many days?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
2 days.
Yeah. And I'm working on this core stuff that's like a 2-month process.
Hmm.
And, we just kind of get stressed out. And I know that a while back, I made a conscious decision that I'm not going to be an entrepreneur that's up till midnight.
Hmm.
A lot of people are, but I decided I like my sleep, A.
Hmm.
Um, and just that's not the way I want to run my business. So, I'm very guarded as far as emails. There was a whole
Hmm.
conversation in a private Facebook group that I'm a part of, like, do you answer emails on the weekends and nights? And I was like, no, Sunday's my day of rest. If I answer it, it's got to be an urgent thing, and that's my choice. But I don't answer my client emails after a certain time at night and not on the weekend unless I'm planning on working or it's an urgent thing. But I
Hmm.
don't make a habit of it. So I think as a self-care tip that I kind of want to share is, as entrepreneurs, we have to set the boundaries. If we don't set the boundaries and we just answer emails and texts all times, all hours, we're setting our clients up to expect that from us. And I
Hmm.
think a lot of times, as entrepreneurs, we're worried about not getting the business, right?
Hmm.
Like that's a real struggle for me still,
Hmm.
about not getting the business, or, oh my gosh, if I don't answer them now, they're going to go somewhere else, or they're going to
Hmm.
think, this isn't a real business or something. And I just want to put it out there to entrepreneurs that this is part of the self-care. We have to set those boundaries. And some businesses, maybe your hours are till 8 o'clock at night. Then by all means, you should be answering those emails and texts.
Right.
But my clients, we schedule their calls weekly. They know they can have email access to me. But on the weekends, I don't think that they expect a turnaround. And if it is urgent, like my clients know, like in our contract or when we have that first session, like, hey, if it's urgent, text me. So that's, most people aren't going to text you for every little thing.
Hmm.
So I think it's just really important. That's my self-care tip, is set up your boundaries. That's not being selfish. Just because you say no does not mean you're being selfish. That just means you're saying yes to yourself. And you have to say yes to yourself so that you can be a rested individual and be able to give to your clients. Right, Amber?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely. Yeah. If we don't take care of ourselves, nobody else is.
Right.
So Definitely. Yeah.
Definitely.
Can I go back real quick to
Yeah.
essential oils? Just because I think it's important just for this aspect of, because we are here in the summertime, that there's oils that you would want to avoid topically.
Oh,
And so
okay.
I feel that it's part of my responsibility to share that, because I don't want someone to use them topically out in the sun, and that's actually citrus oils. So
Oh,
we did talk about citrus oils in our water, which is great. It, it helps flavor our water. And when we do use it in our water, please put it in some kind of glass vessel or stainless steel vessel, because what the citrus oils do is actually break down the plastic. So we
yeah.
don't want to continue to consume toxins, right? And then also for using citrus oils topically, it acts as an enhancer to the UV rays. So it
Oh,
actually
right.
increases your susceptibility to getting a sunburn. So avoid citrus oils, or even the blends that have citrus oils topically on your
Okay.
skin, so you can
That
avoid
makes
getting
sense.
burned. Yeah,
And
definitely.
I can chime in on that. So citrus oils, folks, she is not lying. They break down plastic. So a few years ago, we went to Palm Springs with our friends Roxanne and Steve, and Roxanne and I both do the oils, and we're like, oh, vodka with a little, citrus oil. Like that was our drink. Well, we had them in plastic cups, like red Solo cups, and we're like cheersing, and the second one, I mean, literally, I was like, oh
Oh
no.
my
And I went like
gosh.
this, and I got my cup right underneath hers, but the bottom of her cup fell, and then we had to grab another cup because the bottom of our cups fell out. So no citrus oils in plastic containers.
Yes, it like melts it. So it's
It was
pretty
like comical.
pretty
It
crazy.
was hilarious. So
On that aspect too of hydration and that aspect of sleep, you're talking about how important it is to have the boundaries and what time you're going to go to bed, what time ideally you'd like to wake up. Just that hydrating aspect of just you figure you sleep from 6 to 8 hours. If you're fortunate to be one of those people that gets sufficient sleep like that, that's a time that your body is fasting. So you're obviously not ingesting any, foods that are
nutrients, yeah.
hydrating or drinking anything unless you happen to get up and use the restroom, whatever. But all that to say is that your body is fasting during that time. So as soon as you get up in the morning, I know we like to go for that coffee pot and have that first, hot mug of coffee. But
Coffee.
if you, if you can actually precede that with a
Some
full
water.
glass of
Yeah.
water, that would just helps so much better. And so on that aspect of the pH level, yes, coffee is low, it's acidic. Even look at our sodas. I know, again, it's summertime and we want to, stock the coolers with sodas and stuff, but that's even
I'm like,
lower acidity. Yeah, the acidity of soda is even, it's more acidic than coffee and tea. So just to give you an idea here, we're, kind of in this range bubble of 7, but the more we go south, it's more acidic, where soda is like anywhere from 2.5 to 3.5. So it just really just drops us down. Whereas if we have that hydrating water that has all 3 of those key aspects to it, then that's going to put you back in that range of to help level out
sweet.
that pH for you.
So we talked
So,
about sleep. We talked about our oils. We talked about hydrating. So that's 3 components. And you might have already known this stuff, you guys, but it's always good to hear it again from people that are actually working in the industries, and that, Amber's in that realm of self-care. And I know you take excellent care of yourself. Let's talk about food. I'm going to throw this out there, and you might not have all these answers, but I'm going to
okay.
keep it really simple.
Yeah.
So Amber, Liz, and I just went to lunch last week, and it was so great to see you guys like in person.
Yeah.
And what's the name of the restaurant that we went to?
Oh, true food.
True Foods. So they're both like health nuts, and I love healthy food, but that doesn't mean that I'm always probably going to go choose that
Right.
type of restaurant. But I was really impressed with the choices of the food and the flavor and and being filled.
Yes.
So, True Food is a great restaurant. Like if you need to go do lunch, it's in Fashion Valley, and you had what was that bowl? Do you remember?
Ancient Grains Bowl.
It was really good,
It
you
was good.
guys.
It was
But
good.
do you have some other, because I think as entrepreneurs, what
Mm-hmm.
do? We meet people for coffee and lunch.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
how do we make some self-care healthy choices? True Food would be one, but do you have another restaurant that, or a place that you like to meet because it has healthy options?
Sure. There's so many various food recommendations. And again, it's a case by case situation. Some people may gravitate towards keto, paleo,
Right.
vegan, whatever. And you just really have to find out what works well for your body. So as far as making choices at a restaurant, you
But
kind of already know what works well for you. And, if you eat something and it's promoting bloating or major indigestion, that's usually pretty much a red flag. And that's one of the things that I noticed when I started ingesting this particular brand of water that is being made by the system that I have, that it reduced the bloating that I have. And it also helped because now I'm more hydrated and I'm drinking more water too, is that the satiety, like I'm not going for sweets as often,
oh, that's
or I'm
nice.
not like constantly looking to snack because I'm so hydrated and drinking that sorry, there's a helicopter going by if you can hear it, but,
I can't.
okay. Hopefully it goes fast.
It's not coming to
But
get you, right?
okay. What's that?
It's
Yeah,
not.
no. I hope not. But so you help that satiety because now you are drinking, the right water. And so as far as making choices at a restaurant, certainly you can go for the salad. You can go for, if you're eating meat, if it's chicken or if it's, it just really comes down to personal.
Do you have other favorite restaurants that you like to go to that have just, because I was really impressed. I think maybe I've been to True Foods once, but I was
Mhm,
like, oh, they really have a lot of healthy options. I
mhm.
just didn't realize that. So are there other, because as entrepreneurs, right, I can't tell you how many coffee and lunches, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've done lunch together
Yeah.
a few
Yeah.
times and the salad is always an option, but I'm just wondering, are there other restaurants that you think have some really good choices for lunch, like for those entrepreneur lunches? Cause you know what? I'm downtown, like across from Carl Strauss, like that's not the place to go have lunch,
Mhm.
right? Onion rings, beer battered onion rings, cheese balls, hamburgers, right? Um, so do you
Right.
have other restaurants that you like to go to that
There is one that I enjoy, and it's called Swami's. And
oh,
so if you're,
Swami's Cafe?
Swami's Cafe,
Get
yeah. So
out. They
they
just
do
opened
have,
one in Hillcrest.
yeah. So there's one in North Park. There's one in La Mesa, and okay, there's a new location, and I think there's one in North County too
Yeah,
in
there is.
Encinitas.
Okay,
So
that's
there's some
good to
options
know.
there. So yeah, and being that we live in Southern California, I think the restaurant industry kind of knows that we're kind of
Yeah.
finicky and
They're
that we're health
getting
conscious.
better, but there's some restaurants that cater, right, to their
Hmm.
audience. They know who their
Yes,
ideal audience
right.
is, and they want that fried, greasy, thick food where we
Hmm.
have a lot more options now. But I know that some restaurants, like I like healthy options, but I also want to be satisfied because the last thing I
Yes,
want to do is order something and then leave and go eat like a Hershey bar or
right,
something
right.
or fried chicken, whatever it
Yeah,
is. I'm making that up, but because I'm like, oh, that was like eating cardboard. I know it's gotten better.
right.
So if you think of any other options, I'd love for you to like drop them in the comments later so us, the entrepreneurs can be like, oh, next time I have a lunch meeting, let me try True Foods or let me try
Yeah,
Swami's because
absolutely.
I think it's really important for us to provide resources.
Hmm.
So we've got the water, we've got the oils. We all know we need sleep. I don't get 8 hours sleep. It's very rare. I find that I'm a 6 hour sleeper. That is
Nice.
like my sweet spot, but I don't like to get out of bed. So like I'll wake up and I'll be like, no, I'm not getting up. It's too early. So I still struggle with, don't stay up too late, but my alarm goes off at 5:30, but I'm actually awake before my alarm. But I don't want
Mm.
to get up. I like
Yeah.
my bed. It's
Yes,
like
it
getting.
is.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Um,
So if you can, I think that what also helps promote sleep is if you have your environment cool. And I know sometimes, if some houses don't have air conditioning or whatnot, but that does help the body get into that
See, that's what I
zone
told my
of deeper
husband.
sleep.
I'm
Is
not sleeping as well because we have our AC on, but
mhm,
it only cools the front of the house.
right.
So we have a fan in the hall trying to direct the air in, but I'm
Hmm.
telling him like I wake up because I'm hot. And
Yes,
it's not because of the hot flashes, it's just because it's stuffy in here.
absolutely. And that does play a factor in
Okay.
our sleep. So,
Shelly Mitch, if you're still watching, make sure your bedroom's cool because I know sometimes she has issues with sleeping as well.
mhm.
So I think the last thing I want to talk about maybe for self-care, and we don't always talk about this, is therapy or coaching. Call it what you want, folks, but when you have someone that you talk to on a regular basis, I think it's investing in yourself. And I'll put it out there. I've been in therapy before. It's fabulous. Like I had someone that was an outside party that I could go to and talk to about things when I, was in a different relationship and things were going on with my mom, like, and at my
Mm.
job at the time. So I went to therapy for a year and it was like amazing. I learned a lot of things about myself, and how to deal with situations. So depending on where you're at, as an entrepreneur, I'm a huge proponent of having a coach. I don't care if it's once a month, but you need to have a business coach. And I know you've worked with coaches,
Oh, yes. Yes.
lots of different coaches too.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
because yeah, I mean, there's a coach for everything. There's so many options. So it
right?
really depends on what you need.
And I just feel like having a business coach is part of that self-care for an entrepreneur
Yes.
because it's someone that you can go to, whether you're frustrated in your business, whether you have an idea, don't know what to do. That coach usually provides you with the resources, the guidance, and the reassurance
Hmm.
that you're doing things right or that you need to pivot.
Yep.
So, if anyone is interested in any professional coaching, I'm sure Amber and I could send you a personal message with some references. Obviously, the coaches that we worked with, they work for us. My advice to any entrepreneur out there is to talk to where's my fingers? 3 coaches because you have to find the right fit. And I also feel that it changes where you're at in your business. 3 years ago, I hired a coach. It's not the right coach for me now.
Correct. I totally agree with that. Yes.
And I know you just got done working like in a year-long
Hmm.
coaching program, which
Yeah.
it was that transformational.
Hmm. Absolutely. Each step, I had the platform launchpad coach that, kind of like helped me with some basic stuff because I was like a new entrepreneur. And then that helped me propel, once, my time was done with them, that this other opportunity opened up in perfect divine timing and jumped into that. And it was perfect. Again, exactly what I needed, during the course of my business and where I'm going. And so that one terminated after a year long. And again, divine timing with this other coach that is helping me with some other aspects so it's not a one size fits all. You have to
No,
definitely find out, and like you recommended, think about what is it you need and then go research and find 3 coaches,
gotta
and they
find the
do
right coach.
consultations.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So there's like Rebecca Garcia, there's Sean Quinatero, there's Mia Davies, there's Gina Gomez. I mean, I've got a list of coaches like off the top of my head, and they all serve a different purpose and they
Yes.
work with people on a different level or different manner. So you really need to go out there and do the consultation. Because I feel like this next year, after I get through this online course, oh my God, if I could just get these online courses done. I feel like next year I'm going to be ready for a new business coach to help me take my business to the next level. So I really feel like that's
Yes.
part of self-care, guys, is to get coaching and someone to encourage you and inspire you because it can be tough being an entrepreneur. We're running around. Some of us are working a job and doing our business. Some of us are raising a family and doing our business. And we're trying to learn all the tech stuff. We're trying to do Facebook Live. We're trying to do our websites. So I just feel like self-care, make sure you get some help. So whether it's a business coach you need, or maybe you just need help with your business, start outsourcing what you can or trade services. Done that
Mm-hmm.
before too. Trade services with someone.
Absolutely.
So that's my little self-care tidbit. Do you have anything to add, or do you want to like do like a 60 seconds about what you're pivoting on? Because I'm really excited, you guys, for Amber's next adventure.
Yeah, no, we can wrap up and I'll just, give a snippet of where I'm at and where I'm going. So as Mary mentioned, I'm a certified massage therapist and um, been certified since 2009, established my business in 2011. And during the course of motherhood, raising three boys and all that other stuff, it was just kind of word of mouth type of thing that I would see clients needed the flexibility. But what's awesome is like the last year, financially, it's been a platform for me to utilize that to build this next project that I'm building right now as the essential wellness coach. And that's my new program that I'm going into, which will, online coaching. And so what that looks like for me and my coaching is that it's a faith-based process that helps and guide women through healing in their spirit, their mind, their body, so they can be lined up and be activated to move in their divine purpose. Because we get so many blocks and we get so many discouragements from this, that, or the other, or we have fears that we need to break through, or we're just stuck.
Yeah.
And so, the Lord has really showed me all these different components that He's brought me through in the last couple of years. And I'm like, wow, I need to share this. So that's where I'm at right now. My program will launch at the end of January, and I'm excited. But again, like you're just like rolling your eyes about your online course. There's so many behind the scenes things that we have to do. And you're talking about wearing all the hats. And if we're like more the creative, but then yet here we have to link our
Implement.
funnel. Yeah, link our
We're not the
funnels.
techie. Like, I'm techie, but I get stuck on that stuff. And that's why I just, I was reading someone else's post, a little more about self-care on a little deeper level. This guy, Damien Ross from Social Media Examiner, I follow him. He's doing 300 days of videos up to the next,
Wow.
I think, just of content every day. And they're funny. He does the outtakes. But what I love is he shares a lot of raw vulnerability. Mm-hmm. So he was sharing his story when he was down on his luck. He's like, you know what? All we see is the pretty stuff, right? Look, I got the beautiful background. You got a beautiful background. We're sitting here like life is good. And it is good. But I think we need to share some more of our stories when life isn't good. He was sharing about how he had no more income. Like, he's a freelancer, and all of a sudden he had no more money coming in. He was going to lose his place, his home, and he had to not outsource. He had to give his kids that were living with him, he had to put them with friends or family. It was the hardest thing he ever did. And he said in his story, I dropped Luke off and I didn't even have $20 to give him. And I'm sharing that because, life is hard. Being an entrepreneur is hard. And you guys see all this, but it's not like this every day. And I think that Facebook, we can hide behind a lot of things. And one of my commitments that I kind of made is to maybe show some more behind the scenes and my frustrations and show when I'm not doing so good. So other people, I compare myself with other people that have already made it. I'm like, oh my gosh, they have it all together. Why can't I be like that? Well, they have it all together online. They have it all together on Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or Pinterest, but they struggle too. So I want to challenge everyone out there. I'm just going to do this. Just came to me, like, share your vulnerability. I want you to all share a time that's been hard for you as an entrepreneur, a time when you thought you were going to quit. Maybe you did quit. What your struggle is, because as a community, we can support and encourage each other and lift each other up and maybe help each other. Maybe there's someone out there that can do your ClickFunnels thingy.
Right.
I'm like,
right. Well, and then, our example of our struggles will help encourage someone else who's having that wall kicking moment, because even the coach that I'm working with now, just to be vulnerable, I just recently had a breakthrough with fear. And I'm like, what are you talking, because, she, working with her, she's a faith-based coach. And so, she prays for me and whatnot. And so she's like, yeah, I just feel like the Lord just saying something about fear. So she shared that with me. I'm like, okay, it's like, I want to know, what does this fear look like? And it was the fear of failure. And I'm like, wow. And it just listed everything from way back to current and what that looks like. But also, the Holy Spirit showed me, like, that's not fear. Look at all these relationships that I brought you to and out of what you thought was failure. But look at all this, because if you didn't have those relationships, you would not be where you're at right now. So I was like, whoa, mind blown.
Fear is the ugliest four-letter word. And it's so funny that you mentioned that, because we all have fear. I have fear every friggin' day that I'm going to fail, or this course isn't going to work, or my tech isn't going to work. And it was so funny because on the way to work today, I was listening to Caleb, and 2 songs about fear came out, and I was like, okay, Lord, I get it. I'm not supposed to be afraid. Like, just go for it. Do the best that you can. So,
absolutely.
Well, Amber, it's been a blast having you on. And
Thank
you guys,
you.
if you're watching replay, can you type in #replay? Because we're going to go in and answer your questions. So we talked about sleep and oils, essential oils, and water and hydration, and therapy and coaching, and you know what? Just mark the word fear out of your dialogue. But if you want any more answers, just go ahead and tag us in down here in a post, and we'd be happy to engage with you and send
Absolutely.
you any information, because we want you to take care of yourselves so that you can serve your clients. This is Mary Fane
Absolutely.
Brandt with a LinkedIn Bakery. Ciao.